Okay, I don't hear anything.
Okay, hold it. Let me get up there. StreamYard. I just not like people in the room. Damn. They say what the fuck?
Yeah, who?
Folks sitting over there. They say what the hell?
I'm trying to think. I wonder what had to do with this light.
That light ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just see. Okay. Oh, let me invite.
We're gonna test this thing first.
I'm live already.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, because I want to see if you still hear the noise. Hey, underrated. Okay, guys.
So you don't hear nothing, right?
No, we're gonna try this again. Sorry for the technical difficulty. There go the link. You can come on up.
Now, if it's me, I'm just gonna go completely out, and I'm not gonna be on.
Yeah,
trying to do that.
Hey, everyday granny girls. Type the word faith if you want your link drop. Also, type the word faith. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, sis?
Nothing much. Trying to get together. Had some technical difficulties a minute ago.
StreamYards, right?
Huh?
StreamYards, right?
Yeah.
Always
you had that too?
That be happening to me sometimes too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So do I put? Let me see.
Just come on StreamYard and just hit the link.
Oh yeah, and then YouTube too. But I tell people, the content creators, check your subscribers because sometimes YouTube be take subscribers away too.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, because I thought I was subscribed to you. Like I have to resubscribe. Like
me too. I always have to keep going on.
Time.
Okay, just in case anything goes wrong with the stream, I will stay in the chat and give my thoughts. No problem. But you come up, Mix Child. I don't think. I think it was. I don't know what that was, but.
So let me ask you a question. So if I got you on my screen, so on YouTube, I put you on mute, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me put that on mute. Okay, that's mute.
On stream, because you come on YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube is mute. Okay, now let me see. Can I put my face right here? Because I ain't go live yet. Now here's the moment of truth.
And if something happens, just
get coming right out.
Exactly.
Here we go. Let me mute myself.
Yes. How you been? Okay. His eyes look to it. What's happening, beautiful? Yes. How you been? Okay. Good. I hear echo. What's happening, beautiful? Okay, I'm starting to hear echo. Okay, now I don't hear it. So I think that was Eyes Love to Talk.
Yeah, that was me. How you doing?
Okay.
There you go.
If you see me black out, that's a YouTube thing. So stay there.
Okay.
But it's gonna come pop going. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm waiting for CJ Mendoza. No, I don't see you. I'm waiting for CJ Mendoza and who else? There's a couple other folks that I'm waiting for. So I ain't gonna play no music or nothing while the thing is going good.
Right.
Yes.
What's up?
How's everybody doing? A proud, a number one grinder.
The number one grinder, proud Mix Chat, PMC.
Yeah, I think something's up with my StreamYard, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to be up here long.
Okay, so far you're doing good though. But if something happens, then just jump down in the chat.
Yeah, because I mean, this topic is fitting me right now. I'm actually taking a break from YouTube because I'm just mentally tired from a lot. And you know what? As a martial artist, I'm
Hmm.
taught to balance the two,
Right.
because it's hard. So like I said, like I typed in my community tab, I was
Hmm.
taking a break just because I'm observant and I'm just tired of a lot of things that I see on here and tired of a lot of people too. But I just got to be honest about it.
I hear you. I hear you. So that's going to be very interesting. But until everybody else come on, because Promise Child has something on his mind, so we're gonna
I
get
love
into
you.
it.
I love your hair.
Thank you, thank you. I try
You
to do
mix it
something.
up all the time. It looks good no matter what.
Yeah.
Natural, good.
Right.
Can you? Okay. Can you text her and tell her to come back up? Okay. Hey everyone. Just text it to her. Tell her to come on. Hello everyone. This is your girl, the Picture by Faith. Like I said, if I black out, don't worry about it. Just stay there because it's gonna YouTube. You know how I do that, like a little fool. So, and tonight, I want to talk about taking the stigma off of mental illness because most people think when they hear the word mental that you're crazy, but that's not true. They don't listen or understand the second part, illness, which means a disease or period of sickness affecting the mind or the body. Am I echoing here? Let's see. You know, mental illness is considered to be a disorder affecting one's mood, thinking, and behavior. The term mental illness covers a broad range of disorders from mild depression to schizophrenia. But for the purposes of this panel, we're going to define mental illness as a condition that impairs a person's ability to think, feel, and process and respond to life situations in appropriate ways that our brains are like physical organs, like our lungs and our kidneys, which is subject to illness and damage, just like the rest of our organs in our body. And because our brain control everything we do, it malfunctions or distorts, meaning it misleads or misrepresents our perception, to see or hear things, which lead to hurtful or harmful thoughts and actions. And tonight, we're going to bring awareness and learn how to help one another or someone out there, not only manage mental illness, even bring healing to oneself. So I want to introduce, even though even folks may know already, our panel. And let's talk about mental illness and how we can take the stigma off of mental illness, which people say or feel that you're crazy, but it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. So, Promise Child, introduce yourself. Number one grinder. In,
Well,
introduce yourself, bro.
okay.
A 1 minute intro.
Now, Ma, I'm making nice and quick. Make it nice and quick this time. Well, my channel is an underrated darkness. I'm better known as the number one writer. As you see, I talk about everything. It's all about inspiring, and that's all it is. Just check out my channel. You see what you get. But let's build as a family. That's it.
Okay. Eyes love to talk. Can't can't hear you. Mhm.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, my name is Eyes Up to Talk. My channel specializes into mental health. I suffered from it. I could speak from experience. I also want to make awareness that mental health is not a bad thing.
Right.
And my channel, come to my channel. I love to talk. It talks about mental health. It talks about our community and what can we do better with our community.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. Hey, chilling with D Light. Promise Child, you want to introduce yourself?
And I probably shout my channel strictly about philosophy, just free spirit, and how to meditate and be a better person, which I'm trying to do myself. So if that's your cup of tea, please come check me out.
All right. And chilling with D Light. You can introduce yourself.
Okay, yes. My channel basically is inspirational. I'm love, the gospel. I do some cooking. Sometimes I do little cartoon clips, things that uplift. And sometimes I do voiceover with games and things like that. But majority of my channel is inspirational. Yeah, and giving the word. So hey, like I said, anybody wanna, you feel like that they're going through something,
Mhm.
they can come over to my channel and hey, get a good upliftings because I don't do the drama. I don't
Right.
do no negativity. It's all positive. And I
Okay.
serve only one Lord, one faith, one baptism. That's Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. CJ Mendoza, you want to introduce? I hear a little something back there. That's something going on again. I'm starting to hear a squeak.
Yeah, somebody speaking.
Chilling with you, like put your thing on mute for a minute.
Okay.
No, I'm not happy. I'm on mute. I don't know what that thing keep coming up here for. Come out altogether. It stopped. Okay. All right, CJ Mendoza. There you go again. Come out altogether. It stopped. Okay. All right, CJ Mendoza.
Hi, I'm CJ.
I hear my.
Hi, I'm CJ. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
I hear my. You hearing the squeak, right? Y'all still hearing that squeak?
Somebody's running YouTube as they're screaming now.
I think when TJ muted it has stopped.
Right? Y'all still hearing that squeak?
Somebody's running YouTube as everybody know.
I think when TJ muted it has stopped.
So I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna mute it again. Let me know if it makes a difference.
Yeah, you have your YouTube running at the same time.
Right.
Nah, but you might have to cut that off. So
Miss D, you're muted. Can't hear you.
Okay, waiting for CJ to come on back. And
okay, that's not
okay, as when CJ come, okay.
Somebody's muted. What? You muted?
No. Okay, CJ. Okay, introduce
Okay, is
yourself.
it better?
Yeah, introduce yourself. It was her.
Okay, I'm sorry. So sorry. Hi, I'm CJ. I'm a proud supporter of Miss Deborah and Miss Catherine, and I suffer from depression and anxiety. And I don't know what else to tell you. I'm a mother of 2 children, and I'm 40 years old, and I'm happily married. But sometimes I do suffer from depression and anxiety.
Okay, and that's the topic we're going to talk about now. We want to send awareness. Where you at? You not up. You ain't out
gonna hear my voice. I'm in the background, y'all.
They can see you from back there.
They can see me?
Yeah, I mean,
They can't see me.
Hello, cat.
They can see you. Y'all can
Hello,
see me.
sister.
I call myself hiding. And look, she about to forget
you
that.
didn't hide that one that good.
Anyway, my channel is about everything. I'm here to help folks. I'm here to, I'm your ghetto motivational speaker. I talk trash after dark. I do everything. I am here to support whoever needs me.
All right. Okay, tonight we're going to be talking about awareness and taking the stigma off of mental illness. Um, as for me, I'll start off first. You know, my mom suffered from mental illness, and it had a lot to do with her behavior, how she raised her children. Um, she did some stuff. She did some stuff. She was what can you say? You got to add on now, because she hate when I say too much sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
So go ahead.
See, my thing, I think like with family stuff like that. I think you shouldn't say too much. Like you can say some things. Like my opinion about me, because I know I had some problems back in the day. But in order for me to talk about it, you got to pay me big time, and that's how. That's why I will write a book in the future. But to me, like when you on a public panel like this and whatnot, you gotta be careful. Because some people, when you serious at, people take that stuff as a joke. So when you say things, you're supposed to say like, okay, I experienced this, that, and all that.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
That's my opinion.
But that's your opinion. I don't give two farts. It is what it is. A lot of people suffer from mental illness, and
they do.
And that's a stigma that I want to like help awareness to take on, because it's no shame in it.
Right.
There's no shame in it. There's no judgment in it. It's trying to understand, and that's the problem now. People, when you talk, they don't want to talk about it, but they don't want to sound like they're crazy, and that's the stigma that we want to take off. Yes, my mother suffered from mental illness during the big P, when we was all locked in. I even had some anxieties because we as the people are used to being in a box, locked in the house.
Right.
So coming outside and not seeing people made me feel like I'm in a foreign land. Like, where is everybody? Nobody's really, out. So it took a toll on me and my family, because the not knowing, not understanding, not knowing where things are going, your whole life just changed around just like that. So it takes a toll on your mental,
Okay, when I was locked in, for like when we only go outside, just you only supposed to go to the store and back and all that stuff. I went outside, and took a walk in the park. I never felt so good in my life. Sometimes you got to go. I had to leave.
I mean, by all means, chime in when you feel. Promise, child, I want to hear from you, because you were saying that you was going to take a break from YouTube, and you being bothered by a lot of things. Go ahead, Promise, child.
Yeah. For me, it's, the social phase is something that I'm really not in tune with by choice. It's, I choose to be antisocial because, again, I'm somebody that works for, I'm a martial artist, and I do Tai Chi Chuan, right? So I go to a particular setting, the forest. I like to say that I'm the ethos of the forest because it gives me everything that keeps me calm. I like to be alone. I've always been that way since little. And, with the social way, the only benefit I see from it personally is that we keep in touch with our loved ones. But I've seen like close friends' lives in ruin being out here. When I try to explain this on my platform, people take it a certain way. And I always say, it's, for me too, I'm a realist, I'm a strategist, and timing is my thing. Luxury of time is something we don't have. Sometimes being out here, I get anxiety because I question, am I supporting people enough? Or maybe I need to step back and refrain from being repugnant. So that's how I solve this. And, like I posted on my community tab, I'm tired of a lot of stuff on here. And, I always tell people on here, I'm not trying to discourage you, but really don't invest your life in this entirely, because you're not going to get the same love back. And, it's not to tear nobody down, but, I think this is addiction, which ties in with mental illness. People get so consumed by this, they start to forget what real life is actually like. And that's why I tell them, like, as a aforementioned forewarning, don't give your life to this. And for some reason, when I say it, numbers never lie, right? So when you're talking about real conversation, like I do, you've seen my live streams, people want to turn off them, hearing aids. They don't want to hear it. So I feel like with mental illness is something that's overlooked, and needs to be talked about more because I'm a Hurricane Maria survivor in Puerto Rico. Y'all know that. It's hard for me to live sometimes because I get heavy anxiety. You know, I get PTSD flashes from that. And, you know, it took me to talk about it. I've undergone a phase of depression. You know, I went to therapy appointed by my court system down here for 3 to 6 months. But a lot of times I really don't like to talk about none with people because a huge portion of people are more judgmental than they actually try to hear.
Exactly.
And like I don't even know. Like, and I always feel like when you do say things, are you saying too much? Like Catherine was just saying. And sometimes that makes you not want to say anything because you're stuck in a place. If you don't say something, you're too quiet. If you say something, you talk too much. So what am I supposed to do? Right? You know, I don't know.
Well, I understand 100% where you're coming from there, brother. Because I mean, I have went through similar things myself. I've went through depression even to the point where I wanted to take my own life. But like I said, but God, it was His grace and His mercy that stepped in front of me and kept me from even thinking about it. And He sent me to what was that? This little church. I was about to get ready to walk past it. I had just lost my best friend. He was murdered. You know, right there. What was that? Just weeks before his 20th birthday, and I mean, it was like, you know, I was going through all this. I was like, man, what's the purpose of I'm here? You know, and everything. You know, and I'm like, okay. And I never said anything to anybody because I was just feeling low. But one day, like I said, the Lord led me to this little church, and I began to, you know, just, you know, I wasn't going to go at first, but it's like the Lord forced me to go, and I heard the word, and my deliverance took place right then and there. But like I said, depression is real, you know, and I mean, like I said, things that people go through in their mind, you don't know. I've had friends that took their life because of the fact that, you know, they were going through. They seem happy and you know and perky on the outside, but you don't know what's going on in their mind. So that's why we got to be prayerful. We got to be, you know, number one, you know, just be aware. And it's not a shame, you know, nothing to be ashamed about. And like I said, I felt like sometimes I might talk too much. Sometimes I feel like, you know, because sometimes I can be a loner myself, you know, but sometimes I feel like I might talk too much or, um, you know, sometimes I might feel awkward. But then, like I said, you know, God broke me out of that shell. And yeah, like I said, I thank God for that. Now I don't mind because, like I said, I preach His gospel.
Okay. Amen. Promise Shout, YouTube, I feel where you're coming from. With social media, you know, some it depends on your mindset, what you're using it for, is how you get kind of caught up. So you can't let nobody make you feel a certain way if you want to get up there and express yourself and stuff like that. No, they're not gonna give you back the same love as you give it, you know, because it's a platform, a free platform that we're using to put whatever we need out there. Are we going to get the right response back all the time? No, I get trolls and stuff like this because everybody don't believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ. But it don't stop me. I'm going to keep going and keep going because I know the purpose that I came up here for. So I want you to keep striving and keep going and don't let nothing, you know, take you back if you enjoy doing what you do. So
that's right. You know,
I mean,
oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. D-Light, you still in the hospital?
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be out tomorrow.
We praying for you, bro. He has blood clots in his legs. I mean,
in my lungs.
We pray for you,
in my lungs. Yeah.
Prayers.
Yeah. But as far as that social media, I just came back from a 2-week break from it. So, you know, I understand. I totally understand. And there's nothing wrong with taking a break from it. But, you know, like I said, but don't let nobody run you away from your platform or nobody control you because guess what? You do you. And like I said, you know, the viewers and the, you know, and the subscribers, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? They'll come in due time because I started off with hardly no subscribers. Now here I'm almost 7,000. But you know, just keep going, keep doing you, do your content, Do it the way you love to do it, and you can't worry about nobody else because guess what? Nobody have control of your panel but you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. You could go ahead, eyes.
I'm kind of nervous.
Don't be nervous. I mean,
you do look
listen, I told you, just be you.
Be real,
Be
man.
who you are. Express yourself how you want to. There's no judgment up here
Nah.
and no shame or anything else. Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
I want to say to Proud Child that it's okay to take a break because I had to do that for about a year and I did it for 2 weeks and I took a break because it was on about my mental state. If my mental state wasn't right to come to y'all and speak from my heart, it wouldn't have been right to come on. And if I look crazy on my live and stressed on my live, instead of me helping y'all have been more worried about me and asked me what's going on. Am I okay? So I took that break to make sure my mental state was okay. And I suffer from mental illness because I seen how I was taking care of my children. Like Miss Deborah said, don't get into details because there is a book coming out. But I will say suffering from mental illness can mess up the way you are functioning in your home, the way you're giving out your love, the way you're talking to people, the way you're behaving, and the way you interact with life. And if you get too far into your mental health while getting help, you will be in a reality that you will be in a virtual world instead of in reality. And you will be so locked into your virtual world, you won't understand reality from real life. So the best thing is you take time for yourself, you talk to yourself, you get close to God, is how whatever you need to do to make sure that you are healthy in mind, thought wise. Because mental health means your brain is not functioning right. It's not functioning, not a bad way, not saying you're gonna go crazy. It's not communicating right to from your brain to your body into your and verbal wise. If your brain is not functioning right to communicate, you won't be able to bring that out. You'll bring out your brain might be scattered, so you're gonna show scatteredness. And if you're not put together within your mind, you're gonna be scattered and you're gonna be over the place, and then you're gonna be worried about what somebody thinking, what somebody saying, how their words is making you feel. And it's like once you took that break and said, let my mind rest, that's when you come back to it and you say, hey, let me put my all into this because I wasn't able to do it right now.
You muted, Sister D.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going in no type of order. So whenever y'all want to speak out, by all means, speak out. Just, excuse me, and go ahead on.
What's
Anybody
up,
want
y'all? My apologies for the tardiness.
That's okay.
A lot
Fine is
going on
fine.
over here.
Introduce
How's
I'm
yourself
Martin
everyone?
real
Carter.
quick and go on into what you want to say.
All right. Well, what's up, everybody?
Mhm,
When I hear the topic of mental illness,
mhm,
it's very, very serious for me because it's in my family, specifically my father's side. Um,
mhm.
when I have to watch my father go through his schizophrenia spells, it's quite rough because you don't wish that on none of your parents. And not only him, my auntie and my grandmother, rest her soul, they were also schizophrenia. So I was tested and they told me, of course, I didn't, I don't have it. But just to know that it's in my family. So when I see people making light of or making fun of those type of people, it really hurts me because I see my
Right.
family or my father or my family members. So I don't play that when it comes to mental illness because it's real and it's serious.
Mhm.
It sure is.
It is. It is.
And I know firsthand because I deal with it on my day-to-day basis.
That's
With
um before you came up, that's what I was saying that in some shape or form we all do,
Mhm.
So there's really no it's nothing to be
Right.
embarrassed about. it's about all about bringing awareness to, you know,
Mhm.
people
You
who are
know,
mental illness think, you know, crazy. Crazy.
exactly. You know, they always tell me that it's in my bloodline. You know, it's in my bloodline. So there could be one thing that will bring it out.
Now that I hear you.
Someone gets an echo.
Hold
Someone has
on.
an echo.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there would be one certain thing that could bring that out. Like, see, my father got hit on the head when he was in prison.
Mhm.
It was like a bad injury, brain injury,
Right.
and that brought it out.
Oh,
Before that, he was good. He was good, you know.
right. Right.
So now he has to be heavily medicated in order to just kind of be like normalcy, some normalcy.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
understand? So yeah, I deal with it a lot, you know. And then I have to look at myself and say, well, am I schizophrenic? You know, but look, I check all areas. I'm going to this doctor, that doctor. I need to make sure that I'm not experiencing that myself. But they always say, no, you're old enough now. If you would have had it, you would have discovered it like in your 20s. You know, I'm close to 40 now, so
Right.
thank God I missed the mark.
I
But
know that's right.
again,
That's right.
that's not a topic to make fun or light of, you know. And if I see someone doing that, I will react, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
because those people are, in my eyes, are normal too. They just have an illness, you know.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
like I said, before you came on, illness, they hear mental, but they don't hear the illness part. And the illness part, the meaning of that is disease or sickness that's only temporarily.
Mhm.
So dealing with mental illness, you can live a normal life.
Mhm.
You know, you can live a normal life, but people think, you know, otherwise. Come on, number one grinder. Let's talk.
God, can you hear me?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, this is serious to me because within 2 years I suffer death, as I tell you, back to back. Let me tell
Right.
you how it was. I lost my mother August 20th, 2019. I lost my younger brother, lost my youngest brother October the 8th, within a month and a half that year.
Mhm.
Then along the way in 2020, I lost somebody that I care for a lot.
Mhm.
And then 220 went past. Then I found out I lost on my birthday. One of my best friends that I knew ever since I was a 5. He passed.
Mhm.
Nobody let me know nothing. Matter of fact, he passed on my birthday a year before that. Nobody told me that, and that kind of bothered me. And then, as you already know, Sid said that I love to talk. I lost my second oldest brother. I call him the advocate. I did a story on him, so y'all can go to my channel and check that out. So,
Right.
for me personally, it was a lot on me, but I'm sorry. I'm the grinder.
Mhm.
I'm built not to fall. I put
Right.
God first. I put God first. I'm not falling. You know what I'm saying? I guess
Mhm.
I'm a late bloomer of things. I see myself try, like, when the times I need to take a break, I take a break. You know, I don't like. Sometimes sometimes you need to value yourself.
Right. That's true.
You need to value yourself. So I don't put people. You don't do good. Nah, you don't do. You don't put stuff. Nah, I need. Do you understand? I need a break for myself. I need. I
Mhm.
need to. I need to get used to it because this still young now. 2 years, and even my brother. This is still fresh. It's not like
Mhm.
apart and everything. So
Right.
so we talk about it like this when you send the link. I leave you send a link. When we talk about it, I say, yeah,
Mhm.
I can finally talk about it because sometimes that you don't want to talk, but also I have to understand. I have to be transparent too, because I know I have to help others. That's why I name myself the grinder. I grind. That's all I know. I grind.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
so I got so I gotta put it out there. It's up to them to take to accept it. I hope they do, but sometimes that we don't want to be transparent because the
Mhm.
stigma is true. But at the same time, I feel that God using me of
Exactly.
this part of my purpose. It's not my whole purpose. This is
Right.
part of my purpose
Mm-hmm.
to bring the message to help people.
That's true.
That's what like being like sometimes when you with mental health, you talk about one thing, you're not diverse and everything. So I keep myself to be diverse. I am a diverse person, so that also keeps me going to. I don't want to be stagnant. Nah, I'm not just talk about this. I'm more than that. So
Right.
so deal with people that are diverse, also inspirational that believes in you, but believe in
Mm-hmm.
yourself first. And but the one thing most important, I tell people all the time, you got to rely on God. You got to pray. I sometimes I pray crying.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes as a man, it's hard because to a certain extent we don't have the safety net that
Right.
we should. We
Mm-hmm.
don't. We could talk all they want to. We don't have the safety net that we could go to that one man to talk about because we not unfortunately we not going to think the same. So for me, thinking like this, for me, I'm bottled in. I had to, but I
Mm-hmm.
prayed to God about it that hopefully I can get it out. But this is just great. This is great that I talk about it. It's just
Yeah,
therapy for me and
for
stuff
sure.
like that because
Mhm.
sometimes I be looking like
And talking about it is therapy.
yeah
It's part of therapy. You just
yeah
can't hold and bottle it in because you're thinking what everybody else may think. But you have to talk about it. And I love what Buku Flores said. I do believe that certain triggers and episodes in people's lives cause mental illness.
Yep,
And
I
it
believe that.
does. It
oh
does.
yeah
PTSD.
yeah
It's
I do
PTSD.
yeah. Right.
I suffer from PTSD, anxiety, slight depression, and a little bit more. But we didn't go that depth because
Mhm.
job and everything. I had to stop at a certain time.
Right.
I noticed that when then like say if you have a lot of men trauma, and I have boys in my home, and if I dealt with a lot of abuse from that sex, I was
Mhm.
bringing it out on my children, not knowing that I was flashback into something that I didn't even know I did. And I had a lot of trauma that happened to me when I was little, and I don't remember, but my mom remembers. And if you do something, I wind up snapping, or I could wind up hurting you and don't realize it,
Right.
or saying something that I don't know until I sit back and I'll be like, whoa, wait a minute. The room starts spinning, everything start getting dark, it start
Mhm.
closing in, and it's like, and to get therapy, that when you go to therapy, they don't solve your problem for you. They make you think about, all right, before you get to that point, when you feel that feeling, you stop. And when I went to therapy and counseling, it actually showed me what was my triggers. I
Mhm.
can't travel to Brooklyn because if y'all see a video that I had, it makes me flashback. I could smell the difference from Brooklyn and another neighborhood. And the
Mhm.
feeling when I smell it, it's overwhelming. And that's PTSD. That's
Mhm.
because I had a lot of trauma in Brooklyn. And if
Okay.
you don't know, you
Yeah.
can suffer from mental illness from pregnancy,
Mhm.
from PTSD, childhood abuse,
Yeah.
a trauma. It
Mhm.
can be, look at the people from war. They come back
Yeah.
home, they say they okay, but let
Mhm.
them hear a loud noise and let it go boom. They're
Exactly.
snapping like they back into the wall. So
Right.
this is deeper than what everybody think. It's not, it's a normal situation. It's like that's why I feel that a lot of our black young men are on a corner right now because they either suffering some type of situation with their mind that
Mhm.
they can't control or understand it, so they resort to what they think is easier. And
Mhm.
raising 5 boys, they father suffer from the young man schizophrenia,
Uh-huh.
and because it's in their blood, they're if something trauma happens to them,
Mhm.
they can have a big chance to say they can wind up getting it. And the fact that I suffer from it, it
Mhm.
can happen. So it's like you have to. It's deep. It's real deep, and no one understand it. And I felt like what brought my channel out was I felt alone. I felt like was I the only one going through this? Why do I feel like I'm going through this? I wanted to reach out. The first thing I said was,
Right.
"Hey, I'm suffering from mental illness. I had to do this. I had to go to counseling. I'm going through with my kids, and I had to get on medication. And that's one thing too. And in our culture, we kind of push back on mental illness and make it look weird. We tell our black men to be strong. We tell them that, oh, it was nothing. You can get over that. It's you're a man. You're supposed to be strong, and
Right.
not realizing. And then a woman, we gotta sometimes hush it, or we gotta work through it without getting help, without saying I'm suffering through something, and I'm a single black mother. I live in the hood, like I tell everybody else, and the things
Right.
that I see, I know my people are suffering because the things that I see and the way people are raising their children, I know you're suffering from something because if you was in the right mind, why would you make the decisions that you made?
True. That's true.
I don't know. Some people they probably don't even care. Who knows?
Right. And my frame of mind is, why don't care? Like, let's say if my mother suffered from mental illness and she raised me, and I'm doing the same thing that she was doing and thinking it's right, how would I know it's not wrong? Something in your mind is making you think that decisions you make is right. You have to go seek someone outside of the circle to say, no, that's, and what I loved about counseling was they made me realize my trigger points. I did not know I was suffering from PTSD until I explained to her that when I go to Brooklyn and I smell Brooklyn, it brings some kind of fear in me. And she said, ma'am, you suffer from PTSD.
Exactly. Yes, CJ. I mean, just chime in as you know as you're going, because you're sending awareness out. As far as feeling, and also too, I want to talk about when we get more in depth to how you guys feel and what experiences you may had or somebody in your family may had, willing it in. How to what helped you to get back to yourself? I would say to get back to yourself.
With my depression and anxiety, because sometimes when my anxiety gets really bad, and then you have trouble breathing, or you feel like you get real nervous, and you feel like you're about to die, and sometimes you can't even calm your nerves, and you cannot calm your thoughts down.
Right.
And my therapist was telling me that I need to start deep breathing. And at first, when she first said that, I thought it was, like, yeah, right. I didn't take her serious.
Right.
She sent me a couple YouTube videos of how to deep breathe. And apparently I was doing it all wrong to begin with. But when she sent the videos and I watched the videos and I was breathing along with the videos, I was able to slow my heart rate down, and I was able to calm down. And in the Black community, when we use the joke, woosah, that's the same thing as calming down and deep breathing when you start having your anxiety or your panic attacks. And another thing that my therapist recommended for me is to journal my thoughts and ideas. And that was another thing when she first mentioned it to me. I was like, a diary, like children write in their diary, because that's what we see on TV. In these kiddie shows, they will write down, I did this today or I did that. But for journaling, it would just totally be about your thoughts, whether they be good or bad.
Right.
You can write as long as you want or as short as you want. But the point is to, get a good book, or if you don't have one, just get a pen and paper and just write down your thoughts.
Right.
And I do seek therapy once a week, but I do notice, just like the young ladies before me spoke, that in the Black community, there is a stigma against going to therapy. There's a stigma against being on medicine for depression or anxiety or any mental illness, which I think we need to get over that. I think that we need to quit being so critical of others who need help, because we all need help in one way, shape, or fashion. Some people might need to get some financial assistance from the government. We shouldn't shame them either. Some people need, some medicine for their mental illness or therapy or whatever we all need help in some way, shape, or form. But I noticed since the pandemic, things got worse for me with my depression and anxiety. But I do reach out to other people other than my therapist. I call Miss Deborah, and we speak for a little bit, and sometimes I reach out to other friends, and that helps me out a lot just to get it off my chest and just let someone else know what I'm going through. And earlier I heard you guys mention about how some people don't want to share too much, but I appreciate it when other people share their story, even if they do feel they're told too much or they're afraid to be honest and transparent and vulnerable with us. I enjoy it when you share what you're going through, because it helps me a lot from someone who deals with that on a daily basis with my depression.
That's because you're a good person. That's why there's not a lot of good people out here.
I understand that, but for people like me who suffer with depression, it helps me to know, or in my case, me and my mother are having issues right now. We're not talking at the moment, but it helps to know that if someone else went through what I went through, they can relate, or they could be giving me good advice, because if I said, look, I had this issue with my mom, and you say, hey, I've been down that road. I did the same thing with my mother, and here's what you do. I love that, because sometimes I might not have a big sister, if you will, or mentor to talk to. So, but if I can call someone else who has already been down that road, who knows what I'm going through, and say, here, CJ, this is what you do. Let me pray for you. But in the meantime, some advice you could take. Or even if they couldn't say anything, if they were just that ear to listen at the time, at times I need that. And I don't feel that makes me weak or I don't know. It may not make me look cool, or I'm past that point of how it looks to other people, because what other people think of me is none of my business, and I learned that too. What other people think of me is I can care less. Like, I'm past that, But at the same time, I guess it's an individual preference, but I do appreciate when others share their story, because it helps me a great deal.
Right, exactly. I feel some people use what people go through in their mental state against them. Some people do, Buku Floyd, but you have to push past that. I'm past public opinion. Because you wasn't with me when I paid my rent. You wasn't with me when you wasn't with me when I was down. And so why be with me? Because you know a little something, or I'm talking about a little something.
Exactly.
I don't pay that no mind, because people are going to be people, and you can't let them stop your flow.
And if you ain't got no haters, ain't no sense of being around.
That's right.
I love my haters.
Exactly.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Question. My mental illness bothers me when I'm under a whole lot of pressure. I know, when I was a young woman out here, I remember one time I lost my job, and I don't know, I think I was working like temp, trying to make some money. Then a dispossess coming through and whatnot. I mean, like, I was under it, and I'm the type of person, I don't talk to nobody. You understand? I be trying to figure out these things for myself. So while I was going through this pressure, while I was downtown Brooklyn, I was ripping up my own money, didn't know it, because I was so busy thinking about other things. You understand? Then I said, hold it down, sister. You better pull this here together. And I had to think, pull it together mentally. I had to pull myself together. And let me tell you something. When you do call on the name of Jesus, he will come through. He'll come through there. He'll come right in there. He's an all on-time God. And honey, the rent got paid and I got a job. That's what I got to say.
I know that. The devil's always he starts with the mind first.
Right.
And if he can pull you out of your mind and make you feel off, and that'll take you away from God, because the first thing you're gonna say is, well, why God got me doing this, God? But that's the trick of the enemy. So we have to learn how to, in those times, pull ourselves back. Wait a minute, hold up. Take that break. Take that minute. If you got to tell somebody to come and get the kids for a minute, come get these little bad big stomach kids for an hour. Or, I need a break. I need time for me. Just let me catch on to me for a second. Because when you keep trying to go on your own, it piles up more and more and more. And then, that's when it's like, oh, no hold bar. You're going to break loose. So we have to learn how to will ourselves in.
Yeah.
And when those triggers that trigger us, we have to learn how to deal with some of them, because people are going to trigger you no matter what. Say I'd love to talk. Okay, she triggered me with this here, and the same another person could come and trigger me the same way. So I have to learn how to get over that because it's not the person, it's the trigger. So I got to know what it is that ticks me off and work on that thing because it's not y'all, it's within me that's triggering me. So that's why I have to work within oneself.
Let me tell you, my
And one thing,
sorry.
so
My
the
ex
thing I want to say is, when you are suffering from depression and any kind of mental illness, you must surround yourself with people that's positive. Because the devil is hard. The devil works on negative. If you surround yourself around negative people, the devil will jump in you and you will start acting that way. Today, I'm not gonna lie. I suffer from bad anxiety to where I almost cried. And I kept saying to my son, give me a minute, because I'm about to cry. And I don't know why I'm about to cry. And I had to open the front door. I had to turn on the fan. I said, because I feel like the room is about to close. And my son was like, Mom, just chill. And I said, Jimmy, you don't understand. And it happened twice, back to back. And I sat down and I said, I don't know why I'm about to cry, but I don't know what's going on. Just give me a minute, put on the fan, open the door, and just give me a minute. And when you recognize it's about to happen, you're more aware of it. And you can kind of control it.
Exactly.
And once you're aware of it, and you have to have people that is understanding. If no one is around you that don't care, that don't want us, that is not good for your health, period. It's not good. If I didn't have understanding kids, they didn't want me on medication. So they was like, nah, Mom, we gonna work with you because we don't want you on medication. So if you don't have people that want to work with you, that want to, like my son has ADHD. I fought for him. I said, don't put my son on medication. Put him in the surroundings that someone will work with him and take care of him and understand him so that he don't, to make your job easier, don't put him on medication because it's making your job easier. Your job is to work with my child. And you have to have support. I don't have a support system. But when I broke down and my sisters saw it, my family saw it, they was like, oh no. And sometimes the support system is late. They come when the situation already happened. I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost really killed my son in my house by the action that I took because I'm suffering from something. And if I did not go and scream for help and cried to my therapist and told them, look, something is going on and I don't know. I need you to help me because I almost killed my child. Sometimes it sounds like they're not helping you, but you sometimes have to sit back and listen. Because they are giving you the good information that you can get. Because the only person who can control this and who can do it is you.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. That is true. Well, I'd love to talk. That we are here whenever you need to talk. Whenever that feeling come on, my phone works 24 hours, 7 days a week. I always pick up. So don't ever feel that you're alone or you need to talk because I'm here and we can fight this devil together. Or if you too weak to fight, I know how to fight them by myself. So
and depression too, it makes you shun yourself away from everybody.
True.
It makes you shut off the world.
Right.
And I have a tendency, and I thank God that Miss Deborah, Miss Catherine, and 12 told me when I took them 2 weeks off, I was going through a lot. And and when you're suffering with depression, the first thing you do is shut everything off. Leave me alone, and you lock everybody out
because they can hear you.
That's true.
Right. That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Amen. Because one thing I said, even with my daughter, when I'm taking her to her session with her counselor or whatever, they want to put her on medication. And I said, no, she's got too strong of a support system.
Right.
I mean, I'm not too fast to just put her on on medication or anything. I didn't take medication.
Exactly.
Because of the fact that I had a strong support system behind me. I had the church, I had my mother and everything, my siblings, I had everybody, we was a strong support system, you know what I'm saying? But, we can't be too quick to put our children on medicine or be too quick to be on medicine.
Exactly. Exactly.
because it
And
will
that's
slow you
the
down.
therapist, their easy way out. And also too, for a parent, before they fix their child's problem, they look at the dollar sign. So they rather put their child on some medication than to seek help for them.
Social Security check.
I can't deal with a parent like that. I would
Yeah.
do anything far and beyond to help my child in a natural sense before I
Yeah,
think about some daggone
yeah,
medication.
that is true
Exactly.
because I remember because I was a special ed. I remember when I was a special ed, right?
Mhm.
And back in the 70s, it was a big thing that if they cannot control you, they're trying to convince the parents to put you up,
Right.
put you in the home, something like that. And I
Mhm.
remember very vividly. I was
Mhm.
7 years old. This is back in '73. Cold it was a cold day. I remember it was a PTA meeting. It was a district
Mhm.
PTA meeting. And I remember I went there. My mother and father, my late mother and father. They said, I think that you need help. You need help. Nah, do what? I'm not putting my son away. And at the time I was the youngest. I
Right.
heard it. I,
Mhm.
I, I played off that I didn't know the system, but I
Mhm.
knew the system inside
Mhm.
out. They was going like, no, I'm not putting my son away. And I met my father, my late father came in there. I said, well, you need to talk to moms. I said, what
Mhm.
happened, son? You need just like you wait, what? I'm not putting my son away.
Mhm.
And I said, they gonna put me away. And this is see, this is people don't understand the stigma. You remember that
Right.
when they, it's like do something to you and something.
Mhm.
Then I said, son, you come home with me, come home with us. I don't know what they talking about.
Exactly.
But what happened was the parents was giving in, and it was sad because
Mhm.
I had friends that night. I can't do. They just drop them off like ain't nothing, and I ain't see them no more. That's what like when people on
Right.
disability, when people talk about it, does something to me. Yeah, I'm going. I don't care your man or woman. Yeah, I want to do something to you. Yeah, very very bad. Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
because so we got to understand that sometimes the system didn't change.
Yes.
So when
Mhm.
you have a person that maybe they have emotional problems or maybe mentally problems, it
Mhm.
doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. They just need a supporting system. They
Right.
need
Exactly.
somebody to talk to. Don't have because that's part of their medicine that they still use these days. Now they got the internet now. They are very, very slick to do. Oh, we got these numbers, we got the data and
Right.
stuff. So I just tell people just be careful. You have a child, so work with that child. Don't give
Exactly.
them because I'm telling you, they
Right.
make the money. It's a
Exactly.
slavery thing.
Exactly.
Let me
Exactly.
say this here. Back in the days, in urban neighborhoods, there was not a lot of black teachers, and they did not know our
Right,
children. The
Mhm.
thing is, our
right.
kids are just bad asses. You
Mhm.
understand? And then a lot of them kids come from big families that which a lot of parents couldn't pay attention the lack of just one children because they had a lot. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So that's why they say your son, your daughter, you put away because they not right. No,
Mhm.
come on now.
So they get caught up.
Now we're not saying medication is not wrong because I was on
Yeah.
anxiety
Medication
medication.
No,
is
no, it's
not
not
It
wrong
kind
to
of
wrong.
help
helped me
some
a
kids.
little bit.
In
No, it's
some,
not wrong.
a lot of
No.
cases.
It was just wasn't my first choice, but eventually I had to get on it.
But see,
Eventually, when I could not
that's the key
control
word,
it,
eyes, is
That's
that
key.
you tried not to get on it. So
Right.
you did everything that you could do to prevent yourself from being on it. But it's another thing when you have to because you need that extra assistance to keep you focused. I understand that. So don't loop yourself with um being thinking medication is bad to take because it's not. Because some people need that to keep them, keep their mind right, keep them
Right.
focused, and keep them stable. So yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Look, medication is not a bad thing. I'm on
Exactly.
mirtazapine, and
Hmm.
what that does is just helps to, relax me and calm me down. It's an antidepressant.
Right.
Um, they didn't give it to me because I was crazy, but because I needed to just something to control that anxiety. and keep from that schizophrenia coming out, because since it is in the bloodline or whatever. But I do suffer from, silently dealing with a lot of things, basically because you feel like you don't have someone to go to. But lately, I've been surrounding myself around people who I know that purely love me, like I love, because that's where you're going to get your support, and also to the Lord,
that's
in
key.
prayer. And a lot of people think that crying is weak, and it's definitely not, because it's been a healer for me. I've cried and cried out to God.
Amen.
And it's very healing to just get that out, because you can't carry that load. You got to get it out. God says, put on, cast all your cares upon him and cry it out. And then he can heal you from whatever you're dealing with. So this is an awesome panel, and I appreciate you guys, even Auntie, let me know about it. You and Catherine had no hesitations on reaching out to me and saying, fine as wine, we're here for you, ring us whenever. And that love is pure, and I felt it. So I appreciate that.
I wanted to say something in reference to children. My oldest son is 7 years old, but when he was in kindergarten, he used to act up every single day. I was getting emails and texts from the teacher saying how he was acting up, but he likes to talk a lot. He's very intelligent, but he doesn't know when to be quiet, especially when he was younger. But now I homeschool him. He's no longer in private school anymore. I homeschool him. And a lot of times family members, neighbors, friends, they insinuated that my child might have ADHD or whatever. But when I did get him with a therapist, and he still attends therapy, she told me, she said, to be careful when they diagnose children, especially at a younger age, because sometimes they misdiagnose children. And when she sat and talked with my son, and she had several sessions with him, she told me he did not have anything wrong with him, ADHD or ADD. But she did mention that I needed to discipline more than I was, and I need to set boundaries with him. But now he's 7 years old. So that incident where he was acting up at school happened about 2 years ago. But he's a totally different child. But I'm glad that, even though at the time I was stressed out, I'm glad that I waited before I put him on anything. I have not, but I'm glad I did not put him on any medication, because nowadays he's a totally different child. He could sit in a room quietly and do his schoolwork. And like I said, he's very bright, intelligent. But I didn't see it 2 years ago, because, that was his first time being around other children. And every day he couldn't sit still for 8 hours. But if you think about it, having a child or even an adult to sit still for that long and be quiet, that might be a little too much for certain children to be quietly for that long, But I'm glad I didn't react quickly and put him on any medication, because some of the medicine does have side effects. And then, as the therapist mentioned, sometimes they misdiagnose our children. So, word of advice to the mothers out there: you might want to wait until the child gets a little bit older before you put them on medication. Just like it tells you go.
Sometimes a child could be too smart, could be bored because they're too intelligent for that class too.
Yeah, and
you understand?
My child suffers from ADHD. It's beyond about moving. It's not about moving. It's about the mind of thought and what is his mind like. It's impulses. If your child is jumping off the impulses, no matter how dangerous or no matter how wrong the situation is, he's going to do it no matter what, because his mind is not regulated to organize the thought and say, hey, don't do that because it's dangerous. I diagnosed my son before anybody else did. I seen things was going on with my child was something with him. What I did was I needed a support system. I didn't say nothing to my child, to them. I just threw my child in the classroom and just let them figure out on their own. And it got to where all the teachers said, I couldn't do it no more. I can't teach a child. It wasn't even about teaching him. He's smart. He's a straight A student. He's about to graduate. It was about what was his mind telling him. And his mind was telling him to jump off that roof. He's doing dangerous things. And when he can't control the impulses and the thoughts, It's like that's what's considered ADHD when your child cannot control his thoughts, and it's dangerous because let's say if he say my child was setting beds on fire, he was setting things on fire, and I was like, what the hell? They wanted to put him in a mental hospital. I said, no, you're not putting him in a mental hospital. My child is doing it just right here. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. If I gotta lock him down, arm to arm against me, and when he gets up, I gotta get up. It's an impulse. It's like it's a fixation on something, and he can't get off of it.
Right.
Like if he has a fixation of water, your house is gonna be flooded. I'm sorry, you're gonna have a pool hole. Your house is gonna be just full of water.
Now,
That's why I said mental health is really deep.
Right.
now, what I was saying too, is also being an educator, a teacher. I see how different children, how medication can affect them. Some of them it would do fine; they'll go fine with it. But there's others that make them into total zombies. You know what I'm saying? It slows them down. It causes them actually. It's a hindrance to their learning because they're constantly falling asleep or they're just zoned out. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not there. They're there, but they're not. But I mean, I've seen this. What was that? The 29 years that I've been teaching, I've seen different cases, and I've seen where it do work, but then I see some where it takes that effect. That's why I say I'm not so quick to put my daughter on it, because of the fact that I want to try these other alternative, the support system first before just put them on.
Take all options. I like what Lucinda wrote. I think the problem in our community is as a child, we were told what happens in our house stays in the house, and children never got to express themselves until what they felt at the time. And that is so true. Because, if you're our age, mom always said, what stays in the house, you keep it right here. And that's where all the problems and stuff is with they used to hide it, I think even down to certain sicknesses, if you had sickle cell or something like that, that was a big secret. Don't say nothing about that. Everything stayed in the household. Is that person, died early because they never seeked help because they kept everything a secret, because out of being ashamed because they don't know. So sometimes, like I said, it's good to talk about things and send awareness so people can know. Yeah.
Also, I wanted to mention something. This is in reference to adults and children, depression, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, and other mental illnesses. Also, we need to be aware of our diet and what we eat and what we consume, because obviously too much sugar can be a problem for certain people. Alcohol can also exhibit anxiety.
Right.
And I know from personal experience, if I drink alcohol the next day, my anxiety is through the roof, So in certain foods, like we know gluten can definitely have reactions in a lot of people, but you have to be aware. Also, try to eat healthy, get your green vegetables and your leafy green vegetables, and your get more fiber in your diet, drink more water, stay off the sodas and the caffeine, because caffeine is another thing that can trigger depression, anxiety as well. So we just need to be more mindful of our diet.
Exactly. Yes. And Lucinda saying it's just time for our community to address mental illness as a disease and not as a character flaw. It does not define you. No, it doesn't. As a whole, it's just a person trapped in trauma and a traumatic experience. And that is so true. I believe that within time, because it is a disease and most diseases take time to go away, that it could be controlled. And everybody's mindset is going to be on point. You just have to keep doing what you're doing to keep you focused. And like I was saying, forget all that negativity stuff. Let it for what people think.
Let me say this thing. Like back in the days when you used to have a slow nephew or a slow uncle or something like that, and you always had Big Mama. She used to send them to the store. They used to be a pillar of the community. You understand? These days, everybody put everybody in the hospital. Big Mama kept that grandson, that nephew, the brother at home. He go to the store, he mind them kids, cuss them out and whatnot, keep them in place. But he was a fine person in the neighborhood.
And that's true, because back then, not the mothers, but the grandmothers and the great grandmothers, they did used to say, you see, they go to the store, my mama want this, that, and other. Exactly. She said to get this, that, and other. Yes, right. And they didn't treat them as they had something. First thing they tell them, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. Go ahead on, do what you got to do. Exactly. You know, and they went, and that helped them to learn. You know, but these days, totally different.
What they say, Big Mama beat the slow out of you, honey. You better believe that. You be straight.
I tell you,
back in the day, I tell you, times are so different.
Yeah, the community. It was a community back then.
Exactly. Everybody used to pull together back then.
The village, actually a village. Like if your child did something, you was able to find out, or he was behaving a certain way. If your neighbor saw it, they told auntie and they told mommy, and it was like.
And see, back then, who the ones on disability, like the slow child and stuff like that. Right. You know, I know people like to say this, but you even had the drug dealers. You know, nah, you messing with who? Cause you messing with who? Nah, you get done.
They looked out for you. They did.
They looked out. They was not. Cause I give you a case in point. It was this guy named Morris, right? He lived up the block. We went to the same school together, and we took school bus together, but we made different schools. And they kept on picking on. Why you picking on them for? Oh, you stick a school bus. And I remember there was one guy there. Don't even worry about it. Mm-hmm. We gonna handle it. The other people, when I told them they handle it, it was done. So we don't have it these days because people are so sensitive and ignorant. That's what I on my channel I talk about the people on disability. I talk about that we gotta include our brothers that are on disability no matter what it is, and we have to understand they are people too. And I think that also, you know, I will talk about that, and if that's also part of mental health too, because some of these people they just dumb, you know, they did, you know, because they don't care, you know, so.
Right, that's true. So there's also I had it before I took this head down. I had to fix up my thumbnail when I get off. I just put on anything and jump back on. But there's numbers that I had put in, I'm gonna have to put back into the description. The National Suicide Prevention. Right. Line 1-800-273-8255.
Oh, I have it. I have it for my back. And would you like to show it?
Right. You can show it. I'm going to put it back into the description because I had it in there. I had everything in there before I got knocked off.
Can you put it there? There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Okay, darling. And also the National Helpline. Which is 1-800-662-4357. They're open 24/7, and with you, it's always somebody to talk to when you feel in a certain way. So we just can't talk about things. We also have to lead the people somewhere to go in times of need. And I'm going to put that back in the description box once I get off. So right about now, we're going to wrap this here up, and just a word of encouragement on coming out of mental illness. We know the signs, we know the feelings, and now we're going just a quick, you know, what I do when something triggers me, something positive that I do to help bring me out. Come on, number one grinder.
Oh, I have to say that let's keep on encouraging each other. Let's have more talks like this, and I think we gotta go back to the old school things. You know, let's get the number and talk. It don't have to be mental health. Check on see how that person doing, because sometimes by you hearing instead of talking, that means a whole lot. So I think that we need to do more to get to know each other. I'm not saying give your number to everybody, but if you know you're good with that person.
Exactly.
Say your number because you don't know, and I'm glad what you said, sister. You know you're accessible 24 hours because, especially in these days, we need more of that because things getting crazy and crazy and crazy. Sometimes like That person need that like the 2 o'clock in the morning. That person needs somebody to talk to. I know because when I lost my brother, I didn't have the luxury. You know, I didn't have that. I could pick up the phone and call. So I was calling hurt. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you need somebody like this. I told people develop authentic listening. Just hear. Don't say nothing. Let the person get it out. You know what I mean? It means a lot. So
That's true.
we do that.
That's true. And
Thank you.
it's good. You have to have at least 1 or 2 positive people in your life that understands you and know when you call that they're there for you to pick up that phone. You know, because we got a lot of me like, man, that's so and so again with them issues. I don't want to hear that. So you gotta have somebody that you can like really like talk to. And that's why I put up the 800 numbers, because that's their job. That's what they do all day, 24 hours a day. So no matter what time it is, you're guaranteed to call them, pick it up, and somebody's on the other end that's going to talk to you. Come on, Eyes. It was a positive way out.
Positive. Get into the Bible. Learn self.
Right.
Love yourself, number one. Seek help. There's nothing wrong seeking help.
Exactly.
And speak out. Let them know that this was going on, so people are aware around you. And always be happy, I guess. Smile.
Exactly. Anything from you, CJ?
Yes, ma'am. I meant to add earlier that exercising helps with depression, anxiety. Maybe if most people can get in at least 30 minutes of even just walking outside around the block. And like I said, watching what you eat and trying to maintain being healthy. Deep breathing helps me. Also, if you want to deep breathe and use essential oil like lavender, you can get that cheap at Walmart, and just take deep breaths sniffing the lavender oil. Journaling helps. And as the young lady before me mentioned, talking to God, praying, reading your Bible, and reaching out to friends, and being honest with the people that's in your circle, whether they be friends and family, letting them know what you're going through, and taking mini breaks throughout the day, small little miniature breaks. Like in my case, because I'm a housewife with 2 children, sometimes I do have to go in my room and shut the door and just, have a moment to myself. That really helps to get through the day. So I think everything else has been addressed, but just being honest and transparent with those around you.
Exactly. Anything?
Meditation is a key too.
I ain't skipping you. Look at her.
Cow face.
Go ahead, Captain with friends.
No, you go ahead. I'll be like.
Okay, go ahead, chilling with Delight. I'm like,
I thought she was going down the line.
Okay. Well, I do meditate, prayer. Find somebody that you can trust. Stay away from the negative, and draw more to the positive. And number one, I always keep the scripture at heart. Cast all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. That's 1 Peter 5:7. That's what I'm gonna give you. And then he said he'll give you a perfect peace with your mind stayed on thee. Always go to the word. Go to the word. That's the main thing, because you got to speak the word on the situation now. But like I said, whatever you do, like I said, take some time for yourself as well, even, and just, chill back, take a break, like I said, from, YouTube, whatever, social media, whatever, take a break. And just get your peace of mind, because, hey, you need it. But like I said, make sure you have a good support system as well.
And Catherine with friends.
Well, thank you. For this sister here, I play Shirley Caesar. The song is called Strong Man. What she say? Strong man, you better get out of here because you're wasting my time. You don't need to listen to that song. That song is strong and it's deep. When somebody get on my nerve and mess with my mental illness, I play that song loud.
Run that devil right out, right?
I run it right on out. You better leave here because you're wasting my time.
Thank you, Lucinda, for the super chat, and over 50 and fantabulous. Thank you so much for the super chat. My closing is I love Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declared the Lord, and bring you back from captivity. And when they say back from captivity, I'm talking about imprisonment of your mind, confinement, the incarceration.
That's
God
right.
He's an on-time God. He will be, he is there no matter what you go through. You think he ain't there, but he is.
He's there.
He's working behind the scenes. No matter how you feel in season and out of season, just know that God is always working behind the scenes. And we are the people, we face difficulties day to day, yet we take comfort in Jeremiah 29:11. And knowing that it is is not a the promise of God that he's going to immediately heal you and rescue you from your hardship and suffering, but it's rather a promise that God has a plan for our lives. And regardless of our current situation, he can work through it to prosper us and to give us hope that everything is going to be all right in his timing, his healing, and his restoration. And know by faith, if he's done it before, he's going to do it again.
Amen.
Yes. So I want to thank all you guys for coming up and joining me on this here panel. These are the type of talks that I like to have, you know, from the streets to the church, whatever's going out there in the world, be it anything. I like to come here and talk about it. And if you guys ever have something y'all want to talk about, y'all want the girl to come up, you know, I'm there. Just hit me up and let me know what you talk about, and I'll be there. You know, I want to thank all of you. Number one grinder, I love the tour, Catherine with Friends, CJ Mendoza, chilling with D Delight, PMC, Prom Mix Child, and Finest Wine. Thank you all for coming up and being part of my panel. I thank you so much. God bless you. Deuces until the next time.
God bless you.
Peace to all.
Yeah.
Grace and peace unto everybody. God bless you. Love you all.
God bless you too. Praying for you, chilling with D. You know God is doing the work right there in that room.
That's right.
Now for me, it's time to eat my food now.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Enjoy your dinner. Good night,
Hopefully I'll be out of here tomorrow.
All right, love y'all. Have a good weekend.
I love you too.
Have a
Let me say one last thing. There's a brother named Big Dude was in the chat. I told him to come and check it out. I want you to go check out his channel, 4 Quarter Talk. He talk about fitness and nutrition. You need to check him out. The good brother.
Okay. No, nothing wrong with that. And you guys, tell them what channel they can find you on.
Well, they can find me on the Underrated Dark. The Underrated, don't spell with 2 R, spell 1 R. Darkness. You can look me up, and I changed my avatar, so but you can find me there.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
And chilling with D Light, that's just who you are. Chilling with D Light.
That's it.
Yes, and CJ Mendoza. The names you see up here, that's where you find them at. Check them all out, guys. You will love all the channels. So I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy.
Y'all have a good night. Be blessed.
Okay. All right,
you too. Now be blessed now.
Bless you, Chilla. Good night, everybody. I want to thank you all for coming up. Come on, do a little G. Even though this thing sounds like a mess. What they doing? You know, we gotta get our little groove on before we go. Hey. is my therapy. Dancing is my only got 2 steps left, but that's okay. I use a few steps when I need to. Yeah, she's trying to put it on 10 right about now. That's okay, fine wine. After this, we out of here. We gotta get you a dance before we go.
Come on, y'all, get up out there.
What is it, Friday? It's Friday. Enjoy yourself. Oh, get your boogie on. Oh, Lord. I got to pull my stomach. In my gut. I got 2 steps. I ain't going too far now, but I might not get up. Okay, guys.